What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we are going to be diving into Noble Fates. This is a little competitor along the fringes of the kingdom, I guess, of RimWorld, which kind of sucks all the air out of the room with regards to colony survival games. But this one takes a more fiddly-diddly approach, and I mean that in like a good way. The amount of complication and complexity that goes into like each person's needs inside this title leads to hilarious situations. So I don't know if you've ever seen two people brawl with each other because one person is wearing deer leather boots, and the other person dislikes deer leather boots, like they're just really passionate about the safety of deer. They get into a giant fight and one guy murders the other guy. But this is that sort of game where the level of complexity that they've added on into it actually leads to humorous situations that'll end up being kind of fun. And the developers are aware of this because all of the characters are kind of goofy looking, they're kind of stupid looking, and at the end of the day, they do little suck-it dances like when they murder their enemies and things of that nature that lead to the game being very humorous. It's also a game that actually has a little bit of a difficulty curve to it. The game can get pretty nasty pretty quickly. But today we're going to dive in for about 30 minutes to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or if it's one of those titles that you have determined is not for you. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, we can absolutely do that right this second. You look it down below in the description, and the game is currently in early access. However, the game does get a lot of major updates. I can attest to the fact that the developers are basically patching this game around the clock, so don't let the early access status of this game worry you. It seems like these developers are dead set on following through with this one and getting it across the goal line in a timely manner. You can also find a link down below to my Discord and my Twitch stream, just in case you wanted to hang out live. But let's go ahead and do this thing. So what is Noble Fates? Noble Fates is a game where you are building up a kingdom. This is a medieval fantasy game where every single character has different opinions about just about everything. They will say that they don't like things that are made out of bronze. They will say things like, I don't like swords. They will say things like, I don't like bows. I don't like orcs. And you've got to balance your society based on commonalities that everyone has in common, and you really only want to recruit people that get along with the general group, otherwise it can end up in brawls and all kinds of other problems. On top of that, you've also got a prestige system in this game. Everybody wants to have a certain level of prestigious objects inside their inventory. They want to have their own home. They want to have their own domicile. They want to have their own place to live that has been set up specifically for them. Everything that they own is going to contribute towards that prestige score, and if you fail to make that prestige score happen, they will get cranky, and there's a chance that they'll cause problems, they will leave the colony, and so it's one of those games where I think the level of complication that's in here is probably going to run off a lot of people, because you've got to keep track of a lot of things inside the context of this game. However, I think there's also another group of people that will see this game and they'll see all the complication and they'll see all the craziness and they'll think to themselves, yeah, I like tracking stuff like that. I want to play this game. And this video is absolutely for them. So what am I trying to do right now? I'm trying to find the placement spot for that door. That's what I'm trying to do at the moment. We've managed to pull it off. I need to start making personal quarters for all of my guys and all of the places that they live. If I don't get those things, life is going to get difficult pretty soon. And so that's what I'm setting up right now. And I'm going to start by making sure we have a house for the king. I'll probably put like some nice, the roofing system in this game, dude. So satisfying. Feels so good to play around with. I'm gonna let that run right there. I also need to put out like some hunting orders to go take down some pigs, because last season all we had in the area was pretty much deer, and everybody in my society hates deer. They don't like wearing deer leather, they don't like deer leather clothing, they don't like deer meat. It has been a problem with everybody's mood, which is pretty easy to track because you've got this blue meter up here for everybody. Just mouse over it and it'll tell you what's wrong. And this game actually, like, the weirdest thing is, this game kind of reminds me of Tropico with its messaging. So with a lot of games like this, it can be difficult to dig out exactly what people are upset about, what they're cranky about, what they're mad about, what they don't like. In this game, actually not that difficult, because you just mouse over the bar and it'll tell you exactly what they're pissed off about. and exactly what you can do to fix that. And as people's prestige goes up and they rank up in your society, all of these guys get level ups. So this game does not function like RimWorld, where everybody has a little meter that fills up, and when it gets up to the top, you get a new skill level. They actually get XP, and the things they did while on the way to that next XP level are going to lead to what they level up each time around the block. And so it's pretty easy to isolate in this title what people want, and as they rank up, they're going to want more things. They're going to desire. Monsters are attacking? Where? Oh, is it just imps? Okay. Let's go ahead and grab all of our guys right there. We'll go ahead and enlist them, and we will deal with this devil portal that is apparently opened. Not only does our society have to deal with outside kingdoms and diplomacy, there is a world map inside of this game full of people that are out to get you. Oh, there's another imp over there. They sent over multiples. Okay. Not only are other kingdoms vying for influence and trying to mess with you while you play this game, on top of that, you are a god that is basically inhabiting the crown that's on top of this king's head, and there are other gods that want to take down your society as well via summoning demons and other little things like that. The good news is, here, let me get both these imps selected. Oh, did you guys already move the imp body? If you double-click on anything, it'll select every similarity of the type. We'll put that guy on Butcher right there, because imp leather can be valuable. Over here, what you're seeing is the first time you build anything, people need to study it first before they learn the blueprint. It is a little bit cold and chilly right now because we're in the midst of winter. I need to see how my mining operation's going, too. I'm like, this game does have Z levels if you're into that sort of thing. You can live underground if you want. It gets a little murky down here, though. It looks like my mines are not really moving along altogether that swiftly. If you're wondering why I'm mining in this strange pattern, I learned this from Minecraft so many years ago. I'm looking for tin. I need tin really badly. I have basically an infinite supply of copper, but the downside to this game is that you can't really do anything with just copper by itself. Copper by itself is utterly useless. We got to have tin so we can turn the copper into bronze, and then after we do that, life will be good. This little area over here is going to be a domicile where we're going to let the king live because he's kind of cranky about his prestige. Honestly, everybody's kind of cranky about their prestige right now, and so we need to get on top of that and make everybody live more comfortably. And that'll give us a little bit of future-proofing so that as their prestige needs grow, they already have like an overwhelming amount of prestige. And so it should be pretty easy to take care of. There's lots of tabs. There's lots of menus here. I find it all to be very, very well arranged. The game mostly does the same thing that RimWorld does in regards to how it has itself arranged when it comes to the menus and the way that they are presented to the player. However, that having been said, there are some nice little quality of life things here too, and your society should mostly just kind of run itself for the most part. What is George upset about? Everybody's eating dry bars right now. Well, I gave the order to go and kill off the boars, but they're not really doing it. So let's go ahead and we'll prioritize that right there. Yeah, let's go ahead and rush it. And then I think that Masa should have a bow. So he should be ready to rock with that once I've got it queued up. I could also go to the jobs menu over here. The game does allow you to take complete control of what everybody does inside the confines of the game. I would say Inquisitor Patches really, really hates using bows. However, Yu's okay with it too. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. I don't know if I have any more bows that I can gift anybody. If you want to give people stuff, you come to this menu right here. Do I have any bows rattling around in here? I made a bunch of bows a while back, but I'm not super sure if I ever got it done. Masa doesn't really care about anything, in all honesty, but I do need to get some more bows whipped up. So we'll go over to the crafting bench, and we'll go ahead and add a task. And we will call it Weapons Bows, and we will go for 2 fine-ass short bows over here that we will give out to the other people in our society that we just assigned to the hunting job. However, it does look like Masa's taking care of it at the moment, so that'll be good. From time to time, you're going to get visitors to your society. This is a good opportunity for you to recruit. That's pretty much the whole point, is that they slide through, and you're going to have to go through each of the people inside the travelers. And each time the travelers come through, they're going to have different wants and needs and different things that line up with your society. And so I need to get rid of these dry bars, dude. These dry bars are just killing me right now. Get rid of this entire dry bar order. Yeah, just eliminate that. People are eating themselves into mental breaks with dry bars at the moment. I thought that I would prep for winter by making a whole bunch of dry bars. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. I'm going to add another task over here. We will cook up the imp meat, and we will do that in perpetuity as long as we have it. And then over here, we will also add a task to make simple meals, maybe? Yeah, simple meals sound okay. Let's go ahead and we'll maintain 20 simple meals when and where we can inside these confines. And then we also want cooked pork, because who doesn't love a little bit of carnitas, dude? Everybody loves carnitas. It's delicious. It's got that nice lime flavor to it. It's got some stuff going on. George, you cooking it up over here? Nice, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Get us some, like, actual food that people want to eat instead of all those dry bars. I'll probably try to sell them to the next vendor that comes through just to make that happen, but the game does generate ridiculous names for your visitors. So, for example, we've just been visited by the Ab Wanderers. I don't know why their name is Abs. I'm assuming they've got, like, a rockin' 8-pack. If you're wondering how compatible someone is with you, you can just go ahead and talk to him. He's eating right now, but we can tell him to go speak with Abs, and I'll show you how this works. Some people really hate this system. Some people really like this system, but you basically got to interview people like it's a job before they can join your society. And you've got to do that by asking people what they like and what they don't like, and then responding in kind with it. Once you fill up the meter enough, and once your king is prestigious enough via the acquisition of goods and things inside of your society, they will offer to join you. And so that's pretty much it. Some people find this to be a little bit tedious. I don't mind it because it cracks me up. Like, having two people having a conversation about how much they hate wearing human leather boots is actually kind of hilarious if you really take it into consideration. Does this guy want to join me? Nice, he'll join us. There we go. So we've got another character rocking around. I've got a lot of building projects that I've got to bang out right now. This is going to be our general area. You can also turn this into kind of like a hostel. So you can assign these beds for wanderers, and they will pay you like a hotel fee every time they sleep inside your bed. It's one of the primary ways that you end up acquiring a whole lot of silver and a whole lot of coins so that you can buy things when traders come through. If you're interested in trading, there's a little tab up here. You can trade with whoever you want. Different people want different things. If you have those things, they will be stoked about it. You can see that clearly denoted by the color over here of what these things are, whether it's a good or a bad deal, or whether they desire your stuff. I would say let's sell off all the dirt that's in our storage right now. I don't really need dirt, so like we might as well get paid $50 for it. I've been mining out the soil down here trying to find tin, but it hasn't been working out for me. It has not been going great. All of our pig leather has been put on the racks over there, which is fantastic. Abs needs jobs. All right, let's see what Abs wants to do. So Abs doesn't hate firefighting. Abs doesn't hate nursing. So we'll probably put that right there. Abs also does not hate logging, but is also really bad at it. So we'll probably go something like that right there. Apparently Abs is a preacher, so they're good at that. It looks like they're decent at farming, so we can put them in with the old farm squad. It seems like they're okay at hauling, and then we'll throw them in at cleaning over there too. And so now they've got their jobs all ready to go. The game will also notify you when people want stuff. It's totally arbitrary. It doesn't matter what they own. It's purely for comedic value. Our king has boots that are worth like 15 silver. He wants another pair of 6 silver boots. So we have to fulfill that. Otherwise, he'll start taking a stacking penalty over time that tends to get worse. Am I out of wood? Why are they not building this building over here anymore? We also have a level up. Masa is leveled up. And so you can see what that looks like. Every 5 levels, you get a perk. The perks are really good. They allow you to instantly level up a skill that you may or may not have. They also increase their HP. They increase their attack power so that they're better in a fight when the enemy decides to come around. The game doesn't really get too gnarly until like 5 years in, and we're still inside the confines of like our first or second year right now. So we shouldn't have to worry about it too much. But everything in this game is really clearly denoted. Like everything works exactly how I would design it. If you rubber bandbox over a mixed area, it will give you a pop-up right here that will allow you to select every single thing of that type inside that area for cutting or for harvesting or for whatever else, which I think is a really great feature. This is a game that's really easy to navigate once you get used to how everything functions. We did get those bows crafted, so I need to gift those to everybody. Let's give the bows. I think it was you that was okay with going out and hunting. So we will go ahead and give that to her. We have a deer leather cuirass that will also raise up someone's defense. So we'll probably give that to Abs over here. I don't know. It says Abs likes short bows, so we'll go ahead and give Abs a short bow. We're probably going to need to queue up more arrows, though. I've got a standing order over here for 50 arrows, but if we can get some more arrows out of that. He's learning how to make simple meals right now, so that's going to take a little bit of time. This building is not done yet. I should probably start on other stuff, though. We're also a little bit low on wood, so I should probably keep deforesting everything kind of in the area that I'm planning on building. So let's go ahead and cut down some trees real fast just to give ourselves some more breathing room because we are using up a lot of wood supplies right now. So I do think it's going to be a good idea for us to start bashing together like apartments and places for people to live at for their own personal comfort. And we can use this as kind of like a hotel. But there are other things that we need to be aware of here too. So for example, a hearth would be a really, really good idea inside all of these areas where people live at. Now, hearths come in two parts, and they come in the hearth and also the chimney, which has to go up like through the roof. Luckily, it does it automatically, so it's kind of no muss, no fuss when you're banging that on out. It looks like we probably need a little bit more stone too. Our floors don't really have insulation, but we'll go with like a little 4x4 over here where other people can live at. And like another 4x4 over here. And we'll just start giving people places to live. Before the winter gets here, we kind of want to get people behind stone walls. Make things nice and insulated. This will also give everybody a nice boost to their prestige to keep them happy for like the next few seasons. Just to make life a little bit easier. The building system in this game works well. I have no complaints about it. Sometimes with multi-level buildings, it can get a little bit cranky. But just fiddle with it. You'll figure it out. The game gives you lots of like hide roof modes and things of that nature to get it finished off. That's only 10%. That gives how much insulation or 20% insulation? All right, let's just put nice roofs on everything. There we go. Now that we've got the nice roofs in, we also want to get some of these beds done. So I'll probably just go with a stone bed inside each of these. We are also going to need hearths and chimneys inside both of these. So we'll just stamp them out real fast because that makes life easier. The game auto-detects what's going to happen inside this building, and it actually does a good job with it. It calls this a tier 4 bedroom right here. If you wanted to see what the different things are that allow you to get different tiers when people request them, you can just open up this little tech tree, right? As I said, it's a little more fiddly than some of the other... 2 rabid animals are attacking. Cows. What did I ever do to you guys? All of my crimes have been against pigkind. Apparently, cows and pigs have shacked up. They've become best friends, and they've decided they want to throw down. Let's get all you guys over here, and we're just going to enlist you real fast. And if you want to fight some enemies, go fight some enemies, man. There we go. We have defeated the rabid animals. Patches took a little bit of damage, but he's got a special ability that lowers the enemy's armor in combat, so I wanted him to be in there and, like, make it happen. This game, just like RimWorld, it does have body parts and wounds. So you can see right here, because I'm a little bit behind the winter curve right now, one of my guys got frostbite on his toe, and so he's walking a little bit slower at the moment, and there's not really too much that I can do about that. We are running a little bit low on stone, and I think that's largely because our mining operation. I've had a lot of jobs around, and so I think our mining operation has kind of hit a snag down here, which is supplying me with all of my stone and everything else. I do like the inclusion of Z levels. I think that was a really good idea. I need to look up what level they're actively going to put. I do need to look up what level of the dungeon down below I can actively get like 10 from, because I don't even know if I'm on a deep enough level right now. It is possible that we may need... That's rabid. I don't know if we should eat that. That might be a terrible plan. That might work out poorly for us, but, like, I'm giving it a shot right now. If both of these domiciles are built, let's go ahead and assign one of these to you. And then we'll assign this one to Masa. That way everybody's got a bed and a thing going on. And then over here, we want this to be for guests, I think. I would just assign it to anybody and then put it up for rent. And then whichever one you is sleeping in, I would put it up for rent as well. That way we got like a little bit of passive income coming in as we're playing the game. Because like people keep visiting us and coming to hang out. And so, oh my god, the whiteout. You are going to fight people. You do have to bury the bodies just like in RimWorld. It's an interesting little take on colony survival. Like, I kind of like the fiddly-diddliness of it, and I very much like the way the game is constantly telling you exactly what the problem is. Not a lot of games do that. Like, when there's a problem in this game, it's really easy to solve. And inside the colony survival genre, that's a big problem. Sometimes your guys just won't do what they're supposed to be doing, and you can't quite figure out why. I put extra H in there just to accentuate it because it's one of those things that I think really needs to get better with this genre. There are some games where it's really easy to figure out what's gone wrong. For example, RimWorld or this game. There are also games where it is incredibly difficult to figure out what has gone wrong. And you'll spend a lot of time fiddling around with just random sliders and enablers and things like that. I haven't got the temperature system down yet. The temperature system's a little bit odd, so people like want to be warm, and the last time I was playing the game, it worked totally and completely fine, as long as the areas were roofed off and whatnot. Don't worry about the windows, those are procedural and cosmetic. However, that having been thrown out there, I've been noticing it doesn't really add to the temperature of the inside at night, even when these things are, like, running at, like, plus 30 Celsius. And so I don't know if, like, maybe it just doesn't reflect that properly or what, but it has been a thing that I've been having trouble with figuring out. I've been watching their temperature meters, like, while they sleep and whatnot, and it seems to be okay for the most part. So I'm guessing it's just not updating on the tooltip, basically. Like, it seems to be working fine, it just doesn't update the interior temperature, maybe? Like, when you click around inside versus outside. So, as long as it's functioning and working and nobody's freezing to death and all the meters are full, I haven't really been that upset about it. But I would like the temperature system to be a little bit more clear, because it took me a little while to notice that they were getting the benefit of a heated space, even though the interior wasn't actually warming. So that's kind of where I was at with it. So what I think I may do is I may stop mining down here, and I may just keep digging deeper to figure out what it is that we're after. That might be our best play here. So let's get like a little ramp over here so that we can do like a little kick turn on that side and get down to a lower level. Because I think we've only got stone and copper down here. You can see the copper right there, but I don't really particularly need copper at the moment. So let's see if maybe going down a few more layers will help out with that. By and large, though, I'm very pleased with the game. It's a game that keeps getting more mechanics, it keeps getting more things, it keeps getting more stuff, and that's a really good thing. With early access games, there's just this propensity for them all the time to end up in this doldrums where no content comes out for like 9 months at a time, and they run into baseline like the operant phrase you got to watch out for with early access game is refactor or like backend. Those two things right there, if a game says back-end problems or refactoring, that's how you know that game's never going to have any updates. That thing's going to take forever. Those are the two words you want to watch out for. However, this game has had none of those problems. The game seems to run really well. The performance is perfectly fine, except for like in the wintertime where it gets a little bit laggy on maximum speed. Other than that, though, this is a game that really kind of cuts you loose to build a big city full of people that are all functioning together. It does it in its own unique way that does not ape RimWorld too hard, which I find that a lot of games are trying to do RimWorld again, even though RimWorld is already done. Don't do that. Do your own. There's still plenty of ways for people to do new and interesting things when it comes to like genres that are already well established, and even inside those genres have champions. And this game allows you to build vertically. It's got Z levels. You can build big badass castles. It's got that whole humorous bent to it the entire time that you're playing, which will definitely make you laugh at some of the funny things that are going on if you pay attention to your colony. If you run a dysfunctional colony where everybody has like disagreeing needs and things like that. Ooh, level 5 ability, huh? What level 5 ability do you have? Hauling. We've got ranching. Does that give like a passive though? Doesn't give a passive. None of these give a passive. Well, I don't have anybody that knows how to do ranching, so I guess you can become a rancher. I didn't look at his skill sheet to find out if he actually likes ranching or not, so that might have been a terrible misapplication of a level up, but at the end of the day, we'll figure it out once we get there. But I'm really positive about this one. I think the only thing that's going to separate people on this one is just how fiddly the reputation system can be, and having to keep track of like what every single person in your society likes and dislikes. But there are tooltips for just about everything in the game that will give you little thumbs ups and things next to selections before you equip people and whatnot. So they don't really make it difficult to manage all that information in the first place. You just got to kind of pay attention to what the game is telling you. And so I think this is a fun colony survival game that goes off in its own direction from RimWorld, focuses on being funny, while at the same time actively being a challenge. It incorporates Z levels and whatnot that you can play around with. There's some pretty impressive buildings that you can get erected as you play through the title. The battles can get very interesting. I don't really have too many complaints about this game. I think it's a game that has successfully broken away from the RimWorld format and is doing its own thing inside the same genre, and I applaud that because that can be very difficult to do in a world where there is a unabashed champion between RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress. You know, there's already like these champions that have inherited the earth of the entire genre. I'm glad to see another game in that area kind of going in its own direction and playing around with ideas that feels distinct from the other offerings inside the genre. And so anyways, my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we was fooling around with a little game called Noble Fates. Tomorrow we'll be fooling around with something else. Sorry about all the checkups and that kind of stuff. It's really dead in gaming right now. There's legitimately no video games out at the moment that interest me. There's not a lot of RPGs. There's not a lot of like, oh no, dude, we're under a raid right now. All right, let's go back up to the surface. How bad is it? Apparently they brought a catapult, which is all kinds of problematic. So let's grab everybody and let's form up. We got to deal with this catapult. They must be kind of pissed off at me. Hopefully they don't hit anything. They hit the king's castle. That's definitely, don't mess with the king's condo, bro. That's not good form. Let's go wipe them out real fast. I don't really know what else to do about it. Yeah, circle up on them and bust them up. Oh, these guys have pretty nice gear. Yeah, get in there and start pounding on them. Damn, this guy's tough. This guy's taking like a serious beating and just like walking it off like he doesn't even care. There we go. We knocked him down. Execute him. There you go. Stomp him out. Perfect. That's the kind of violence I encourage around here. Now all you guys go get zigs real fast. Don't let them retreat. Don't let them retreat. They brought a catapult and they knocked a hole in the king's condo. The king's condo is not to be messed with at that level. Well, unfortunately, he's faster than we are, so we can't run him down. We probably want to dismantle the catapult, I guess, just for resources. I don't know what they're going to have inside of there, but take that thing apart. Maybe we'll get some cool refined bits. We definitely want to loot him because he's probably got some goodies inside of there that are going to be helpful. How bad are things over here? Not great. Could be better. Could be worse. I think they're just going to rebuild it automatically, though, because like I said, this game has lots of quality of life and, like, no muss, no fuss. These hams guys, they're who we broke off from at the beginning of the game. They're like our mortal enemy because we used to be servants of them and then we rebelled to make our own kingdom after we found the magic crown. And so this is Noble Fates. I like the game a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. If you're into these kinds of games, I think it's worth your notice. I'll see y'all later. Bye, folks.